Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Averie and today I will be doing the Readbyzoe 24-hour readathon. So if you did not know who Readbyzoe is, I will link her channel down below for you guys. I absolutely love her. She's one of my favorite booktubers. But she occasionally hosts a 24-hour readathon, and Zoe is like so committed to this that she literally stays up for 24 hours to see how many books that she can read in that time period. She sometimes has themes planned out for each readathon she has based on the month or the season. One time she even read like the entire It book by Stephen King all in one day in one readathon, so that was cool. But I have been watching these readathons for so long, and they have been going on since I've started my channel back in June, but every time she makes one of these readathons, I'm in like big study mode or I'm really busy. Most of the time it has been because I have a giant test the next day or that week. And yeah, she did it again. I have 3 midterms this week. Today is Friday and I have 3 midterms next week, Monday through Wednesday, so she did it again. I'm going into a bunch of tests, but I have decided to give this readathon a shot anyway and just read as much as I can. I may be taking breaks to, say, make some flashcards for some of these classes, but I will try and read as much as I can. And it is not Saturday the 3rd yet. It is the 2nd at like 10 o'clock at night, but I am so tired right now. I am really tired. I have 8 a.m. classes, so I've been up since 6 o'clock, so yeah. But I wanted to show y'all before we actually get started with the readathon what I'm planning to read. As of right now, I have one book in mind that I know I'm gonna read once midnight strikes, because if y'all know me, I do not like TBRs. I don't make TBR videos. I don't make a TBR list for anything because I am the type of person who loves to read based on the current mood I'm in that time, in that place. And some of the times my TBR, I don't want to read what I put on my TBR, and that makes me feel bad that I'm not reading the book. That's why I don't do TBRs, is because I don't want to make myself feel bad for not reading a book. That's not how someone should feel when they don't read a book. It just depends on their time preference of when they want to read a specific book. Like, I have basically all of these. Almost all of these I need to read. Some of them I have already read. Most of them I haven't read yet, but there hasn't just been the time that I have felt comfortable in a place where I've read a book. And the book that I am starting with is Wires and Nerve Volume 2 Gone Rogue by Marissa Meyer with illustrations by Stephen Gilpin. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it, I'm pretty sure. This is the 2nd novel for the graphic novel spin-off for the Lunar Chronicles set on Aiko, who is the android in the Lunar Chronicles. And in one of my previous videos I stated that I'm not going to read this book until I refresh my memory of reading the first one, because I read it in a day because it's a graphic novel and it was super short. So that's what I did yesterday. I read the entire graphic novel, refreshed my memory so I know what I'm getting myself into when I am starting this book. Actually, the artist, I believe, has changed, so it's a little bit different than the previous book, the artwork. It's just a little bit. I can tell that the artwork isn't entirely the same, which I think is going to be super interesting. I love seeing new art. I'm an art freak. But other than this book, I don't really know what else I'm gonna read. I still haven't read the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets illustrated edition that I said I was going to read in February. I never read it in February. Again, why I don't do TBRs? I should have done that to myself, because most of the time I just don't read the book. But maybe I'll get to that because I really want to look at those illustrations as well. But other than that, I don't really have an idea of what I want to read next. I will just pull from my giant selection of TBR books. So I will check back in with y'all once it hits midnight. Okay guys, so it is officially midnight the 3rd, so I'm going to start reading this graphic novel, which I am totally excited for. And I will probably see y'all in the morning. I am not being like Zoe and staying up for 24 hours. I don't think that is for me personally, that healthy, because when I pull all-nighters, I am not okay the next day at all. So I'm gonna sleep, probably sleep in, because exams are coming up next week and I want to get some beauty sleep beforehand. So there you go. Hey y'all, it's the next day. It's actually almost 1 o'clock. I slept in this morning till like 10:30 and just like chilled on my phone for a while, and I read a bunch more of Where's the Nerve Gone Rogue. I'm almost halfway through it, so I know that I'm going to finish it by the end of the day, probably soon. The book is really, really good so far. The artwork is fantastic, and I can't wait to see what happens next in this book. So I will talk to y'all later, probably when I finish with the book. So it is about an hour later, and I have finished Where's the Nerve Gone Rogue by Marissa Meyer. I thought it was so cute, and I found out at the end that it was the conclusion to this graphic novel story, so that was fun, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cute book. I'm thinking about giving it 4 to 5 stars like I did for the first book, maybe even a 4.5 out of 5 stars, because I did like this one better than the first one, probably because it is the conclusion though, and I thought the conclusion wrapped up really nicely. So I'm going to start thinking about what I'm going to read next, but I'm gonna have some lunch first because I'm hungry. So here's my lunch. I made some Thai noodle soup, spring onion flavored, which is my favorite soup of all time, and it has gluten-free rice noodles in it, so it's absolutely wonderful. Got my glass of milk because Thai noodles are spicy and I do not have a high spicy tolerance, so I need my glass of milk and some watermelon. I'm gonna watch some Say Yes to the Dress while I eat my lunch. Okay guys, so I think I decided what book I want to read next, and that is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I got this in an Owl Crate box back in September, I think. I haven't gotten an Owl Crate since then because your girl is in college and has no money. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I just haven't been in the right mood to read it, I guess, till now. What am I saying? I haven't read Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda yet, and I haven't. I got it for Christmas, and it's over there on my bookshelves. I don't know, I'm not really in the mood to read Simon yet. I think I'm more into this one because I think that the character who just has a bunch of crushes but never acts on them and has never been in a relationship before, that's literally me. So I kind of wanted to read a book that kind of connected to me, I guess. So I think we're gonna start out with this one. Okay, so it's a few hours later. It is 5:50 to be exact, and I am on page 125 of The Upside of Unrequited. I've taken the dust jacket off. I'm really, really enjoying this. I just started tearing up just because I relate to this character already. It's not even halfway through the book, and I relate to this character so immensely. I just can't wait to see what happens to her. So yeah, I will check back in with y'all when I have read more, I guess. Okay, hi, hello. It is 8:33 right now, and I recently just finished The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I have many thoughts about this book. My main one is that I loved it a lot. I didn't know that this book was going to affect me as much as it did. If you didn't know, this book is about this girl who is labeled as fat and has a twin sister who is a lesbian, and both of them are daughters to lesbian mothers. They were both conceived from sperm donors, which I thought such an amazing premise, such great diversity, amazing. And I also knew from the description of the book that this main girl named Molly, who is labeled as fat, she is our narrator. She has had all of these crushes throughout her life, 26, 27, and she's never ever acted upon them at all. And I knew going into the story that they were like her twin sister's new girlfriend comes in with a best friend guy, and then Molly starts a job at a kind of like craft store, and then there's a guy that works there, and so they're like two different guys kind of in the picture a little bit. It's complicated, I can't go into spoilers, but I connected with this on such a deep level. Not just the unrequited love aspect, but how you feel about your body, how you feel comfortable in your own skin or not. She just has this mentality of like, no guy will ever like reciprocate the same feelings as me because of the way that I look and because I'm so awkward with guys and all of this stuff. And I definitely felt that way for sure. I connected with her on that level so greatly. So also sorry if this video is getting kind of deep. I'm sorry, I just really wanted to express my feelings, you know? I definitely have that mentality of, ooh, I won't do this because I don't want to be rejected, that kind of thing. And she definitely feels that way. And throughout the book, she has to struggle with her mentality of, I need to be less fragile and actually put my feelings out there and eventually take the risk of being rejected. Same as her, I have trouble with that as well. Rejection's never fun. I'm sorry, it's not. But we get to follow Molly's perspective on how she feels about rejection and how she feels about putting herself into kind of like a spotlight so a guy or guys could see her. And there's also this part in this book that like I totally, completely am like, that is me. There's a point in this book, it's not that big of a spoiler, it's not really a spoiler, where someone basically feels pressured into being with a person because they've never been with a person before. And since they've never been with a person before, that automatically means I should be with this person my friends are telling me to be with. That might have sounded complicated, but like this group of friends comes together, finds this person, tries to basically force something to happen that isn't there. But the person doesn't know it isn't there, or the connection isn't there, because they're so desperate for that love and for that attention from someone that they've never had in their entire life coming from a romantic sense. And ooh, do I connect with that so deeply. Oh my word. Heck, I've never been with anyone. Let me just say I haven't. Ever. And like being not like pressured, but like being kind of like wrapped up in the whole situation of, oh my gosh, I could be with a person, this person could be my person, but you don't stop to think about, is this person right for me? You just start to think about, oh my god, there's someone there, I could potentially have a someone even though they may not be right for me. That might have all sounded like gibberish. I'm sorry if it did. I'm sorry, this kind of got deep for a second, but I needed to talk about it, you know? I thought this book was amazing. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. If you're someone who has never been with anyone before ever in their lives, never been in a relationship, never been physical with someone, or never been kissed or something like that, like, I think this book would be great for you. It was great for me. It definitely brought me back to times where, like, there was a person that could potentially, I don't know, be something, I guess. But, I don't know, you're so wrapped up in having a boyfriend or significant other that you don't stop to think about, is this person right for my life? Is this person right for me personally? Our society is so pressured nowadays to have a significant other. Like teenagers throughout high school, I felt so bad about myself because I never had a boyfriend ever in high school. And most of my friends did. Most of the people around me did. Most of the people, they were kissing people. They were going to parties and, I don't know, hooking up. And that is not me. I don't do that. And definitely it makes you kind of feel a little bit insignificant in that sense. For some people, when you're a teenager or your early teens, or basically whenever, you always, I think, from personal experience, feel that pressure of, I have to be with someone. I need someone in a romantic sense to complete me. And that is what so many teenagers, like, I don't know about so many teenagers, that's how I felt as a teenager some of the time. That's how I felt like my freshman year in middle school. I don't know, trying to be with the crowd and have a boyfriend or whatever. But as I matured in my later years of high school, I came to the realization I don't freaking need anyone. Like, I don't need anyone to make me happy, but there is always that little nagging part of your brain that is like, it would be amazing to be with someone right now. It would be amazing to hold hands with someone, or like go see a movie and cuddle or something like that. And that is definitely like a big shape in teenagers' lives. Like, it definitely shapes teenagers. This book got to me about that. It brought me back. Like, in college, you're not really peer pressured like you are in high school to always have a boyfriend, you know? This book brought me back to like how I felt in that time period in high school. When you're in high school and you tell people, oh, I don't have a boyfriend, or no, I've never had sex before, or oh, I've never been kissed before, people are always like, why? What's wrong? Like, that kind of thing. And so, I don't know, it connected to me on like such a deep level that I like truly appreciated. I was tearing up throughout this book, thinking about, oh my gosh, this girl is feeling the same way I felt in high school. Okay, I'm sorry if that was very deep. I'm sorry. I needed to talk about it. Plus, I'm very tired, and it's only 8 o'clock after 8:30. I don't know. We will see if I even pick up another book. I know I have like 3 hours left almost in this readathon, but I don't think that I could read some of these books in that short amount of time. Most of them are 300 pages or more, and I started this book at like 2 o'clock. It took me 6 hours to read this 300-something page book. I don't think I have a book that I could read in that short period of time. Like, I have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, but it's kind of big. I don't know, I guess I'll read that after I eat some dinner or make some flashcards or something, because I do have to study for my midterms. This was a great little break for that, but we'll see what I do. We'll see. Hey y'all, it is the next day, way into the afternoon. I wanted to tell y'all all about my readathon experience. I did not end up reading anything after I read The Upside of Unrequited last night. I was very tired and I needed to do a little bit of studying, so I didn't end up reading anything. Plus, I did not think that I could finish a book over 300 pages in 3 hours, so I didn't read anything. But I wanted to give y'all my wrap-up for this readathon. First, I read Wires and Nerve Gone Rogue Volume 2 by Marissa Meyer, which is a graphic novel form of the Lunar Chronicles, all about Aiko. It is set after the Lunar Chronicles main series, so I read this one and I really, really loved it. I loved it more than the first graphic novel, and this is the conclusion to the graphic novel story, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And the next book that I read is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. Yes, I went on a quite big tangent about this book in this video because I connected to the main character, Molly, immensely. Molly is labeled as fat, and throughout her life she's had 20-something crushes, but she's never ever acted upon them until one day her twin sister gets a new girlfriend, and the girlfriend has a best friend that she brings into the picture, which Molly is interested in, and she starts a new job, and there's a guy that works there that she may also be interested in. So it is all about her experience trying to understand how she should act in certain situations with guys when she's never ever been with anyone before, never been kissed, never been on a date, never done any of that. So it was quite an emotional read for me personally, just because I connected with her very immensely and I understood a lot of what this character was going through. And overall, I recommend this book to anyone who felt that way, and especially in high school, the pressure of needing a boyfriend, the pressure of needing to be with someone. That's how I felt in high school, and I feel like that's how a bunch of people felt in high school, so I recommend this book for anyone who felt that way, and I loved this book, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. So there y'all have it. That was the conclusion to my readathon. I know that I didn't really read all that much. I read around 600 to 700 pages. Overall, my reading experience for this readathon was great. I feel like if I were to have stayed up for 24 hours, I would have read a lot more, but for me personally, that wasn't an option because I wouldn't have felt very good the next day, and I have 3 midterms coming up, so I didn't want to do that to myself. So I totally recommend these books. They were great. I loved them, and my reading experience was great. I probably next time should have done something a little bit more active during a readathon, but I haven't had a lazy day in a long while, so I guess I needed it in a little bit of a sense, I guess. So thank you all so much for watching, and let me know down below if you participated in Zoe's 24-hour readathon. I would love to know, and let me know what you read. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all soon with a new video.